You search Russia on Google. You get Russia as the country, you get stats, you get how to plan a trip, stuff like that. Normal stuff that you would probably see on a day-to-day basis. Until you look at See Results About and Top Stories. Yes, we are going to be talking about the Russia-Ukraine war, but specifically we are going to be talking about Russian tech sanctions, whether Russia can survive the tech sanctions imposed by the West. Now, just not too long ago, Russia started their so-called special military operation in Ukraine, and it was hated worldwide for those countries who didn't like Russia doing this, and especially it was prominent in the West. And then the West, especially like countries like UK, US, France, the European Union in general, have been helping Ukraine with like military funds and equipment to help them fight against the Russian military, which is very powerful as of today, but might not be because of the tech sanctions now imposed on them. Now, Russia never ever expected tech sanctions on this level because, well, yeah, they probably just didn't, because it had never happened before, and now they're kind of in a stuck situation. Russia has had many brands pulling out of them, and for many sectors like business, consumer, airplanes and everything, like communications as well. In the airplane sector, companies who provided Russia with airplanes have probably like taken out all of their airplanes that they lended to Russia by now, or maybe they are going to. And this will be disastrous on Russia, because then they'll get less profit out of trips to Russia and back, and that's probably not on a very big scale anyways. Then we also have the actual tech that we all like to talk about today, like smartphones, laptops, PCs, all of those things. Dell, Hewlett-Packard, or HP as it's known, Apple and Samsung have either stopped or at least suspended activity in Russia, which means that you're probably not going to get new Samsung and Apple smartphones, or maybe a new Dell monitor or a HP laptop or something like that, which is disastrous for consumers. And to make things worse, to make matters worse, Intel and AMD have also stopped chip production in Russia, which means that Russian supercomputers, Russian military computers can no longer have access to the latest chips or services from Intel and AMD, and that includes consumers. They can no longer also get these chips, but then there are also loopholes, since there are still brands of laptops and smartphones such as Huawei who have continued production in Russia, which means that technically for consumers that there's a loophole that you can get a chip in your Huawei laptop, but they would be of no use to the Russian military or to Russian supercomputers, and is disastrous on like a government scale. And yeah, that's not going to be any good to Russia, having these kind of sanctions imposed on them. Another kind of key sanction imposed on Russia to intend to also like halt this war that's going on to help Ukraine is services like companies such as Oracle, SAP and Microsoft have stopped business and services in Russia, which means that not only do consumers and governments get affected, but businesses also get affected, which means that just throughout Russia you're just having these people who are rich through like services like Microsoft, and they might need Azure, or they might need maybe an Oracle database, or maybe even use SAP, and their business might just collapse because of the Russian decision to go to war against Ukraine, which led to the tech sanction to prevent Russia from getting even more powerful. Now, we've talked about all of these sectors. We've talked about, like, tech sanctions, like, in terms of laptops and stuff. But what about communications and networking? Well, it's not looking good from that side either, since both Nokia and Ericsson have, like, stopped networking and communications in Russia. Not a good thing as well. Another bad thing, Russian ruble, it's gone down in value. It went down drastically in value, like, as you can see over here. Went down in 2015 around about, like, the time when they also went to, like, fight Ukraine for, like, the first, like, prominent time, like, recently. And then look, it just dropped. Look, just dropped like that. Just poof, gone. Exactly, like, so quickly. They seem to have been recovering, but that has literally impacted the Russian economy. Now, we've talked about all of these things, the currency, networking, all of their devices, even, like, their services and their kind of tourism. And the tourism comes from, like, airplanes and stuff like that. And so now we come to the big question, the big conclusion: can Russia survive these tech sanctions imposed on them? The answer is no if they keep on going on with the war in Ukraine, because, yeah, then they're just gonna collapse completely. Though they have, like, started putting up, like, rip-off kind of, like, food chains for, like, fast food restaurants, like a rip-off from McDonald's, for example. They probably cannot get to, like, they can probably not get to, like, chips for, like, supercomputers and, like, rival Intel and AMD that quickly. So yeah, for now, I think it's going to collapse if they do not pull out of Ukraine. And yeah, it's just going to prove disastrous for Russia. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, like the video, and please share this very important video with friends and family to let them know about what's going on in Russia, Russian tech sanctions today. My name is Smash Frenzy 16, and I'll see you in the next video.